Hey everybody and welcome to my kitchen. It is time to do a leftover extravaganza of whatever's in the cabinet. So what we're doing is I've sped up the video because it took a while to do all of this and I don't want to go through that. I'm doing a voiceover because my son and my husband are watching Lord of the Rings in the background and we know how loud a busy mom's kitchen gets in the evening. So I filmed, but I'm going to do a voiceover just so that you don't get all that background noise. So that beautiful rotisserie pork shoulder that we did on Sunday night. We're using that for leftovers tonight. We're going to use the Dutch oven, which is the crock rock. We'll put all the leftovers, the reserved juices from the drip tray, everything in there. I'm going to take a little bit of chicken broth, and I'm just putting enough in the bottom of the pan to where when it goes in the oven, it's not going to burn. I want to give it just enough to sit on the bottom of the pan. So what I'm doing there is we're going to put it in the oven in the crock rock, and we're going to put it in the oven for about, I think it ended up in the oven for about 45 minutes or less, however long the air fryer is going to go for. So we're going to put it in the oven for that at 300. We're going to put it at a low temperature because all I'm really trying to do is reheat it slow so that we retain all the juices and the yumminess that was in there. And that recipe on the pork shoulder in the rotisserie with the chili powder and the paprika and all in that crust, that was such a beautiful flavor palette. That was great. It was going to be good. So what I'm doing is I'm going to cut up some garlics, and we're going to use the garlic press and put that in there with it as well so that it blends in with that chicken broth that I put in there so that it's all marinated together in the oven. So we're going to use fresh garlic as soon as I get it all peeled out. Yep, throw away the excesses. Where did I go? There I am. There's my garlic press. So we're going to press out the garlics just because we want all that marinade into the chicken broth in the bottom. Scrape it off. It's good to go. Lid goes on, and yes, the glass lid is great because you can see right through what you're cooking while it's in there. Glass lid is perfectly safe in the oven. That is a Dutch oven, so it's perfectly safe in there. So next what we're going to do is we're going to take our Brussels sprouts. We're going to put these in the air fryer. So we're going to air fry Brussels sprouts. So we're going to cut them up. We're going to cut some potatoes up to go with them. So we're going to air fry the Brussels sprouts and potatoes. We're going to put a little bit of olive oil, and we're going to put a little bit of Italian seasoning. And then because I'm Cajun, way down the bayou, well, I'm not as Cajun as some people, but still, we're going to add just a little bit of jalapeno flavored olive oil. So we're going to put that in there as well. We're going to put that on the air fryer, and we're going to rotisserie it down. So this is a great way to use your leftovers and still have it look like and feel like you got a brand new meal. So my pork is going to be nice and juicy instead of dried out leftovers. We've got the potatoes as a side to go with it with the Brussels sprouts. We're going to do brownies later tonight. So even though it's leftovers, I didn't spend a whole lot of time in the kitchen to do this. I think it took me about 17 minutes altogether to put the pork in the oven, to get the Brussels sprouts and everything put in the basket, into the air fryer, and then I went and sat and watched the movie with everybody else while the air fryer was doing its thing. It's because the air fryer has a rotating basket. I don't have to get up and turn everything or flip it or rotate it while it's air frying. I just let the rotating basket do its thing. So 20 minutes of prep, another 20 minutes while it's cooking, and we have dinner while I'm watching a movie with everybody else after I get off work. I mean, it's really a fast and easy way to do leftovers. And I've sped the video up to ×2 on the speed because it takes a while to cut all these little Brussels sprouts. They're nommy, but it takes a while to chop them all up. I'm going to chop up the Brussels sprouts, and you can see I'm using the same knife as the garlic. That knife is so quick, so smooth. Cut the garlics, cut the Brussels sprouts, gotta cut them up. It's kind of fun watching myself, actually. I got that double chin going on. I'm going to have to work on that. Okay, so that's the last of the Brussels sprouts. Check out the cutting board. Put it all in the middle. It folds, take it over to the trash can, and it's good. Pull a couple of potatoes out. I'm only going to use 2. And again, the arthritis in the fingers, guys, is really painful this late at night after I've been typing all day and writing all day. So watch how fast and easy this knife just runs through everything. I mean, it is a really smooth and sharp knife. Watch. There's no pressure on the fingers. There's no pressure on the joints. It just goes straight through. It was probably not the safest way to show you that, but it just goes straight through. You don't have to put a lot of pressure on these little knives, which is really good because my little fingers don't like the pressure. So we're coming to the end of this, and what's going to happen is it's just pop them together, cut up the potatoes. Got my bowl of potatoes, my bowl of, and I use the same bowl that the pork came out of the fridge in because why not? Save time in the kitchen for cleanup later. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of Italian seasoning. And then I go get my wonderful, this stuff is amazing, by the way. I know it's not Pampered Chef, I get that. But that jalapeno olive oil is just a beautiful flavor when you start putting stuff in the rotisserie or in the air fryer. So we're going to shake it up. Jiggle everything around. Shake, shake, shake. Jiggle it all around. So what we've used tonight for Pampered Chef is we've used the Crock Rock for our Dutch oven. We've used the Pampered Chef enamel knife, which is so slick and amazing. The prep, the cutting pad that I'm using, the cutting mat, is so easy to use and so easy to store because it is not rigid. We've got our air fryer behind me and our little rotisserie basket. It slides right in, locks in place, set the timer, set it off. Because it's rotating, you don't have to flip anything, so it's absolutely set it and forget it. And turn it off. Now that we've pulled it out of the rotisserie, and I probably left it in there a little long with the Brussels sprouts, but they weren't burnt and they were really nummy. So it is very hot. It comes out of the air fryer at 400 degrees when you're air frying, so it's really hot. So I've got my little silicone middies on to protect my fingers. And now I have to figure out where the opening, there it is. Opening is, and you got to get it open. I tried opening it with a fork, probably not the best idea because it didn't really work. So I went back to my middies in a moment. But it's just a little catch there and it's really hot. So we'll go back to the middies and try it that way. Get it under there. There it goes. There it goes. There it goes. It's going to open. There we go. Okay. Again, it's really hot when it comes out of the air fryer. It's 400 degrees in there. So we've got our silicone mitts because they're so great at keeping your fingers, and you pour them out. And I've got crispy little Brussels sprout chippies, perfectly roasted potatoes. And now we got to get the oven open. Go back to my little middies to pull out. Now it is coming out of a 300-degree oven, so I'm not going to put it directly on my countertop or the mat. I'm going to get my wooden cutting board out to use it as a heat pad. We're going to pull out my crock rock, which has been in the oven the entire time the air fryer was going on. That's it. That's all it took. Just the amount of time the air fryer was going on, because the Dutch oven seals all that steam and all the juices inside. Clear lid. You can see exactly what's going on in there. Little middies to keep my fingers safe. And beautiful little pot roast going on there. And there you go, dinner.